Diego Simeone is the face of Atlético Madrid and has been since taking over as head coach in December of 2011. But behind him is a man whose presence is as vital as it is understated. And that man is Germán Adrián Ramón Burgos, often known by his nickname of Mono Burgos, with mono meaning monkey in Spanish. He is Simeone's number 2 and much more important than you might think. And his story has everything. They say that goalkeepers are eccentric, and in Burgos' case, that's certainly true. Born in Mar del Plata in the province of Buenos Aires on April 16, 1969, Burgos came through at Ferrocarril Oeste and also played for River Plate before moving to Spain. He was already 30 years of age when he first arrived in La Liga at Real Mallorca in 1999, but he never looked back. His first significant appearance in the headlines of Spanish newspapers was for negative reasons, as he was suspended for 11 matches for punching Espanyol player Manolo Serrano during a match. Little by little, though, he became known in Spain for more amicable reasons, such as his great goalkeeping performances, his vibrant personality, and his famous red baseball cap. His transfer to Atlético Madrid in 2001 pushed him further into the spotlight, even though Atlético were in the second division at the time. He helped them win promotion back to La Liga and celebrated it by starring in one of the most iconic adverts in the history of Spanish television. The scene is a deserted Gran Via in the centre of Madrid, with Burgos emerging from a manhole. "We're already back," read the text. Burgos didn't play much for Atlético once they were back in the first division due to renal cancer, but he swatted that away just as he would a striker's shot. He later revealed, "When the doctors told me I had cancer and needed an operation, I asked them to perform it on the Monday because I had a game on the Sunday." Of course, the doctors insisted otherwise, but Burgos worked hard to be back for the final game of that 2002-03 season. He'd retire 1 year later, but 2003-04 was important because that was when he really got to know Diego Simeone, who returned to the capital city club in the summer of 2003. Now, they'd already played together for the Argentina national team, but now they were spending every day together, and Simeone fell in love with the goalkeeper's way of seeing football. When Burgos retired, his main focus was unorthodox. It was to focus on his rock band. As a huge Rolling Stones fan, Burgos had always loved rock music and had put together his own band in which he sang lead vocals and played the guitar. The name of that group was The Garb, G-A-R-B being his initials. When Simeone himself retired and moved into coaching in 2006, he knew he wanted Burgos as part of his staff. His former teammate politely declined at first, but eventually moved away from the world of rock and back towards football, holding roles with lower Spanish sides, Alcorcón and Carabanchel. Then, in January of 2011, when Simeone moved to Catania in Italy, Burgos finally decided to team up with his compatriot. And that was when the magic really started. They kept the Sicilian team in Serie A in the 6 months that they were there. Then they left and went to Racing Club de Argentina for 6 months, where they had modest success. And then came the phone call from Atlético in December 2011. On December 23rd of that month, Simeone was unveiled as the new coach of the Spanish club, and of course we know how that story goes, with the Argentine winning 7 titles in 8 years. What not everyone knows, however, is the importance of Burgos' role. He is the number 2, but he does a lot more than most assistant coaches. There is a perception of Burgos as being an aggressive and thuggish character, but that is largely exaggerated. While it's true that he did have a few incidents during his playing career, and while it's true that he once shouted at Jose Mourinho, "I'm not Tito Villanova, I'll rip your head off," a reference to the Portuguese infamous eye gouge, Burgos is more often than not a calming presence, which offsets Simeone's ferocity. And he's kind and funny too. One illustration of his kindness comes from his playing days, when the Argentine used to arrive at the Atlético training complex a couple of hours before he was supposed to be there, so that he could share breakfast with the builders who were working on the grounds. As for his humour, there are many excellent examples of that. Asked in one interview what he'd have wanted to be if he wasn't a footballer's wife, was his response. His sharp tongue even got him thrown out of the Vatican on one occasion when Atlético visited during a trip to take on Lazio in Rome. But he wasn't too bothered, as that meant he could enjoy a cigarette outside. When it's time to work though, Burgos is as professional as they come. His is a tactical mind, and he plays an important role in the development of set-piece strategies and in-video analysis before games. Burgos has multiple TV screens in his office, on which he claims he can analyse several football matches at the same time. And the fact that he's a keen disciple of video analysis makes sense, given that he spent 4 years at Ferrocarril Oeste, playing for Carlos Timoteo Grigual, an Argentine coach and video analysis pioneer. Now, in April of 2014, in a match against Getafe, Burgos even became a bit of a pioneer himself, as he became the first coach to use Google Glass during a match, by combining it with a La Liga-provided media coach app to display up-to-minute statistics on the 22 players on the pitch. The combination of Burgos' analytical brain and Simeone's motivational skills is a winning one, and Burgos compares this Argentine coaching double act to Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. Fortunately, Simeone understands and appreciates the importance of Burgos and all of his coaching staff. When Atletico won La Liga in 2013-14 at the Camp Nou, he invited all members of his coaching staff to join him at his post-match press conference and said, "I want to share this moment with my guys. They don't appear on the TV every day, but they work every bit as hard as those who are on TV, or even a little more. They've made me a better coach." It's true, they did, and they continue to do so, Burgos especially. He is an understated factor in the success of Atletico in the past decade, so much so that there is increasing speculation that Burgos could one day go it alone.